Okay, so the other day I made a light, cheeky post about moms and Santa in a mom's group. It was about Santa. It was about the patriarchy and how women or moms often do most of the Christmas prep work. No, not all of it, but a lot. And how a fake man in a red suit comes in and steals the credit. And holy shit, the responses, well, they weren't curiosity. They weren't totally disagreement. They came from more of a place of correction, like, be more cheerful. You're doing Christmas wrong. Stop being negative. You're coming across grinchy. Remember, it's all about the kids. And why are you talking about this? And what fascinated me wasn't that people disagreed. It was actually more about how quickly this message kind of stated, we don't talk about this out loud, right? When a light joke like this was like a little tongue-in-cheek comment gets a big, heavy, resistant reaction, it's usually because it touched on something real. And in this case, listen, the discomfort really wasn't about Santa. It was about women being seen. Welcome to Create Your Happy. I'm Christy Holt, your one and only happiness hussy. And this season, I'm going there. These relationship rants are for the woman ready to stop abandoning herself and start choosing truth. Let's get into it. So let me be very clear before anyone, tightens up their shoulders and gets ready to go on a crusade to comment about all the reasons I'm wrong here. This is not about being anti-Santa. It's not about being anti-Christmas. It's not anti-joy or anti-cheerfulness. It's not anti-men. And I'm not saying that women do everything. But what I am saying here is that a lot of women do what is expected. And a lot of what women do is also expected. And the thing is, when something becomes expected, it often stops being noticed. The planning, the remembering, the anticipating, emotional management, making sure everyone else feels good. And listen, that's not magic. That's labor. So let's call it what it is. And what's expected when it becomes invisible still is work, right? Invisible labor is still labor, even if no one's clapping. And when this effort is assumed, it often stops being valued. Okay, so a question that I have in my mind, and I know other women out there have on their mind, is around why women are expected to be cheerful about their own damn exhaustion. And this is the part we don't talk about enough, because women aren't just expected to do the work. They're expected to be fucking happy about it, right? The moment you name the exhaustion, you're told that you're ruining something, that you're negative, that you should just be more grateful, that you should slap on a smile. I remember when my kids were young and being exhausted and saying something, and other people telling me, well, you only have this moment once. They're only young once. You should be grateful for every moment. And frankly, that's bullshit. And that is expecting people, humans, women, to be something that they're not in that moment. And that is not a genuine request. I'd also invite you to recognize and notice how rarely women are told to rest. Much more often in these situations, they're told to be pleasant, like to suck it up, to just be grateful for every moment. And the thing is that cheerfulness is often the tax or the cost that women pay for simple belonging, because we're not told to rest. We're not told to take space. We're not told that it's okay to be exhausted and maybe a bit salty about the way things are going in the moment. We're told to fucking smile and get over it. And honesty often gets labeled as negativity when it makes other people uncomfortable. And that is the real kicker, because exhaustion and, struggle isn't a personality flaw. It's just part of being a real human. And if you're wondering, like I was, who is actually benefiting when women undervalue themselves in this way, this is where I want to zoom out, because the thing is, this isn't about individual women or individual families doing things wrong. This isn't about holiday traditions, in fact, at all. It's actually just about the system that runs very smoothly when women overfunction. It's about a culture, a system, a pattern that praises self-sacrifice, that rewards doing it all, supermom, superwoman, and quietly, and sometimes not even so fucking quietly, shames them for asking for help. And yes, here is an uncomfortable truth, because this system doesn't need women to be forced any longer. It simply needs them to volunteer. And when women do everything and show up and be everything to everyone, no one else has to change. No one else has to shift. And this overfunctioning gets rewarded time and time and time again, right up until it becomes the expected norm. And this is where Santa becomes a symbol. Okay, not a villain, not a bad guy, it's kind of a metaphor, but it's not totally a metaphor for, this whole pattern ruining the magic. It's just an example. Santa represents how much effort can disappear behind the story, right? And when someone pulls the curtain back like I did, even gently, it can feel really threatening because we've been taught that awareness equals cynicism or negativity or being unhappy or not being cheerful or even being grinchy, but that's not true. Magic that requires your silence isn't magic. It's maintenance. And this awareness, this new look on things, this honesty isn't cynicism. It's clarity. Because if joy depends on your disappearing, something's off. And what I'm noticing more and more is that women love to police other women, right? This part is really important, and I want to approach it with a lot of compassion. Often the strongest pushback against women and against these systems and against the patterns here, it doesn't come from men. It comes from other women. And it's not because they're mean. It's not because they're malicious. It's because the very mere idea of questioning the system can feel destabilizing. It can put into question their belief systems. It can call into question their entire worldview. And it can feel safer to defend the norm than to truly open it up for questions, right? It can feel safer to protect what is than to question it and potentially have to do something differently. But silencing other women won't make the system any kinder to you. It simply upholds it. It keeps the system intact. So this isn't about opting out of Christmas, okay? This isn't about rearranging entire traditions. This is about learning to love the holidays and paradoxically at the same time, still being able to question the system. So here's the reframe, because both of these things, this Christmas tradition and the systems upholding it can both be true at the same time. You can love the holidays and question the patterns that are inherently baked into them. And to clarify here, questioning a pattern doesn't cancel the joy behind it. It actually clarifies it. It gives us an opportunity to create magic that feels really good within us. And awareness of what's really going on gives us options because we don't know what we don't know. And silence, this not knowing, takes away our options. So you don't have to burn it all down, but becoming aware allows you to choose consciously. What is it that you want to create this holiday season? How do you want to experience it? And maybe, just maybe, it's time for some new traditions. So let's end on this note, because I want to just envision a world where there's magic in the holidays and women valued themselves too. So the question is, what if the real magic isn't perfection and tradition? What if it's not perfectly curated Christmas trees and decorations and dozens of Christmas cards sent? What if it wasn't exhaustion disguised as love? What if your holiday traditions included rest, visibility, shared effort? Because the thing is that kids don't learn self-worth from their mom putting together perfect holidays. They learn it from watching the adults around them. And self-worth is definitely something that your kids are learning by watching you. And it's also important to note that this same conditioning shows up everywhere in dating, in relationships, in work, in motherhood. It's not just related to the holidays. That just was an entry point into the conversation. And I want to leave you with this idea, because maybe, just maybe, the most radical holiday tradition we can start is this. And that is that the real magic is women who don't disappear. Thanks for listening. If this rant landed, hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And check out my additional resources at coachchristyholt.com. If you're craving clarity in your own relationship, reach out. I'd love to connect. I love you. Now let's go do some epic shit, shall we?